it's interesting because like there would be comments of like, oh, well, you used to. I'm like, I don't even know her anymore.
Yeah.
Like I can't even relate to that person
Yeah.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was conversation where I was like, I am genuinely so sorry, but like I'm not that person anymore. And it was kind of like surrounded around like religion and like my thought perspective when I was younger. And I'm just like, I don't think that right now. Like I don't think like that,
Yeah.
like right now. And so it's interesting because we kind of like switch spaces or like switch spots kind of. So I would say she's probably like way more like relying on religion than like I am. And so now like the lifestyle differences, the thought process differences, the advice is like a little different. And so now I feel like we're kind of like more like distant, like we check in here and there, but it's not how it was. And then also like she has kiddos, and her time is just like
Yeah.
limited. And now that like I'm back in office, because we used to talk when I would work from home. So that's easy, right? She could call me when like she's taking the kids to school, blah, blah, blah. And we could just like yap, but shit happens. And so we're not beefing. Do I regret it? No, it was a lot of effort. Yeah, it was just a lot of effort that I was like, oh, more work than I thought, or just more work than like meeting a new friend and going through the new friend challenges versus like working through old stuff with an old friend who now I don't even relate to who I was
Right.
then. And it's hard. I think it's hard for them to swallow. Um, And so I'm like, I'll apologize however many times you need me to. But also, like, I don't know her. Like, I don't know the person who did this to you. Because I've already forgiven myself, too. So, and I don't think that, like, it was anything crazy. I don't want to, like,
Disclose too much, right?
well, not even that. I don't want to invalidate her experience
Right.
based on, like, what I said.
Yeah.
But I don't even agree with what I said then.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't even think like that anymore. I don't know that girl. I don't know her. And that came with the deconstruction of religion. So.
Yeah. That used to part, and again, not to invalidate her, but that is triggering within itself. That used to, like, we do transition, we grow, and like you said, we go through life's journeys, and we're different people, and time and place, wrong time or right time, wrong person, or you know how the phrase goes. But that's definitely. It sucks. It sounds like closure though, and that's
Oh, for
beautiful.
sure.
Like that, like you said,
Yeah.
it's a thought. Like, oh, I hope they're doing good, and it's beautiful. And thinking of the thought, like, oh, the times were great. What we did go through, I remember that time. That was a great time, and it's just a transitional piece where
Yeah, we're in another
we're in another phase of our lives. So
Yeah.
I do think it's like beautiful if you can like pick it back up, right? And because sometimes you like, especially if it's someone you like were really close with, you like really know, and it's like, oh, like it's just like old times. I mean, it's not obviously,
But,
there's some
yeah.
hurt there, but it does feel good. I think sometimes to have that like rekindle, and I feel like that's how you know it was the right decision as well. I mean, I feel like if things are still awkward and it's weird, you're like, okay, maybe not. Or you obviously you start fighting again, right? You're like, oh man, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Ouch. But if not, I think it does feel really good to be like, you know what? I think that this was a good idea. Like, I hate the way that it ended before, but maybe it'll, it makes our friendship now stronger. And I guess having some time to think about it, now I know how to go about things, I guess depending on what it is, right? But like my attitude and how I show up for you, or like how I even deal when you like make me upset.
Yeah.
Like I know how to like kind of navigate that to where we don't end up where we were before.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
I would even say too, just like being like just more open, because you've grown, you can kind of have those like conversations that maybe you couldn't have in your early 20s because you're like,
true.
you're my bestie, you're supposed to do this shit,
Yeah.
And then now you're older, you're like, damn, shorty don't even have a capacity. But back then she didn't even have the words to tell me she didn't have a capacity. So it's just like, expectations I definitely think also change as well. So I think we're able to provide just like more grace. you know, to those people who we think maybe didn't show up for us like when they should have. But yeah.
And I can add to, I can say I have successfully rekindled a friendship. That friend at the time was going through hardships and things she didn't want to share and what she was going through, and it did create a wedge between us, and we were really close. But it was like, you know what, she's going through something, and just me knowing like, hey, this isn't like her, but you know what, I'm gonna let her go through it. And I was like, you know what, if that's the end, I was like, we had great time. We were great friends. And once she was able to get the healing she need and go to that phase that she needed of life to get out of what she was going through, she called me and was like, hey, let's talk. And we talked, and she told me everything, and I was like, you know what, and since then we are thick as thieves. We are best friends and been through a lot more with each other. And for your little heart, your little second chance heart you have there, it does feel good when you can rekindle something, especially when you have so much that you've gone through with each, so much history and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I have a question. I'm glad that worked out for you.
Yeah, okay. Look,
I'm working on
it. Were you about to say something?
No, I would just I love that worked out for you.
Okay. So I have a question. It's something that I've thought about that I couldn't put into words, but I put it in, well, someone on TikTok put it into words.
Yeah.
So they said that you could be fighting for your life, but all you're focused on is how, like, that friend can't show up for you. So, like, your friend is fighting for their life, but you're also going through something, so all you can focus on is, like, how they're not showing up for you. Like, how can friends show up for each other and communicate to each other when they're both going through something? Because I've been there, too. Like, where I'm going through some shit, my friend going through some shit. But it was, like, the opposite. So I was like, girl, do this for me, I'll do this for you. But it wasn't it didn't work out. But I think it's hard, especially like if you're someone who kind of like isolates yourself.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Y'all stop talking.
I think it's holding space. I am a person that I do isolate myself, but in knowing when I get out of it and I call you and be like, hey, this is what I was dealing with, and you create that space to be like, oh, I get that. And it's also that piece where it's a safe space. There's no judgment. Then for me and people who know me, once I come out, it means I also have the capacity for you as well, so that then you can also let me know, like, hey, what you've been going through. So I think it's kind of tough. I've never really been or dealt with going through something extreme while my friend was going through something extreme. So I don't know how to truly, it's always been one or the other, or just knowing like, oh, we're going to give each other some space. Yeah. We'll come to it after the fact, or if you really need me. But I can't answer that. I don't know. That's tough.
It is tough.
That's tough.
I don't even think I can I can answer it either. But I do think like for me, I'm just really like a listener. Even if I'm going through something tough, I'm like, I'd rather hear what you have going on than deal with my own stuff, right? And I feel like sometimes I may give myself advice through giving my friends advice, right? Like listening to what they're going through and being like, actually, girl, maybe you should take your own advice. So I feel like it kind of helps me to listen to what they're going through and then kind of try to relate it back, or even in the middle of that, them telling me like at the end of being like, well, you know, I also resonate with that X, Y, and Z. I'm also going through X, Y, and Z. So I think it kind of just like play off the conversation a little bit. But I do think it's hard, especially if you're someone who's like, I can't handle anything else. I'm already on fire, right? Like my house is burning. I can't also put your fire out too. And so I definitely think that's very difficult. I mean, like I can send some water your way. Like I'll try to send some wind, you know? Like, you know, a little bit. But it's definitely, I think it's definitely difficult. But sometimes for me, I think listening and then kind of giving them advice, and then also listening to myself, giving them that advice as well. Of like, okay, well, maybe you've answered this for yourself too, right?
Yeah. Like maybe you know the answer.
Maybe I do know the answer. Yeah. Exactly. And I think, of course, with that, just giving both people, both sides grace.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like sometimes some people, when they are in distress or they're angry, I feel like it's easy for them to take it out on you too, because
those
you
closest
are
to
their
them.
friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, I also have to realize, like, I know you're not trying to hurt my feelings, but you are. And then I feel like that's the hard part too. Where do I draw the boundary?
Yeah.
Because I'm only going to take your stuff so much.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, and I want to be there for you, but at the same time, I
I
feel like you're
can't
kind of
when
digging
you're-
on me.
Yeah.
So I feel like it kind of got off, but
No.
different tangent. But that's another thing too. I'm like, I don't really know how to navigate that. Like, still stand up for myself, but also still be here for you. But also, I'm not your punching bag,
Yeah.
and I can't take that.
That's
Yeah.
that's the other part of my scenario. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I don't like this part. But no, I do. It's challenging. Like, we'll never have the answer to everything all the time, especially when we're in it. But do y'all mind if I transition to the last question?
No.
Okay, so pick a show: Waiting to Exhale, Girlfriends, Insecure, Living Single. Like, you can either talk about who was the worst friend and why, who was the best friend and why,
Ooh.
or like what character you see like yourself in. Was that on the spot?
That's
You on the
so.
spot? Or even
that's a
just
good question.
commentary about any of the
Yeah.
shows.
I love Girlfriends. Love Waiting to Exhale too. It's my favorite movie. I watch it every New Year's Eve. It is a New Year's Eve movie. Don't cut that out. People need to know that is a New Year's Eve movie. I'm just kidding. I would say probably I watch Girlfriends over and over. It's just my comfort show. I will say, Tony was not a great friend. She was
Agreed.
all about her.
Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I do think she did have qualities of a good friend, but in some
Are they in the
ways, I
room
think when
with
she
us?
gave,
No, I'm just
well, like when she was like, you know, would give Joan like advice of like stepping outside of her comfort zone, because I feel like Joan really played it like
Safe.
very like
Yeah.
cookie cutter, very square, very safe, and so Tony was very different of that, right? And so I think that she showed up how she could. However, she was just not the best friend. She was very much about herself and what she's going through. And then, you know, the whole thing with Todd, you know, the whole thing,
Yeah.
the whole show. So I would say she probably wasn't the best of friend. But I think when I think about myself and how I want to show up for my friends, I think I'd probably have to say, if we're sticking with girlfriends, probably Lynn.
I knew you were going to say Lynn. I knew
Trying
you
to
were
be
going
the
to say that.
peacemaker of it all, you know, the goofy
Yes.
one, the
Like,
one who
don't
like
you deserve a
cracks.
justice?
Yes, delusional, 15 degrees, you know.
That's
No, but I definitely think that's like my superpower too, of like just listening and trying to be there and trying to bring everyone together, especially if there's like arguments in the friend group. I'm like, can we all get along? Like,
funny.
what's, you know, like, let's just like talk it out. And that's like the worst thing you can do, I feel, with sometimes is like to do like, yeah, let's get us all in a room when our emotions are very high.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I see myself as a Lynn of just like kind of just going with the flow. I'm here to listen. I truly love to listen. I love to yap. So, so I think that's who I resonate with the most, and the delusion for sure.
I am going to say Living Single.
Okay.
I really think they were very mature for the age that they were at. And then going back to the original question you asked, I think they would have been able to give us advice on that, on how to deal with, you know, if both people are going through fire, how to deal with it. I just feel like Khadijah and Max, they would have
for
been
sure,
able to have that convo and then be like, well, who fire we about to put out? I just feel like, you know, they had that serendipity of a friendship, and they were always communicating. They were always talking. They were always talking things out, big, small. And I just think that was just a great representation of what friends were, the original friends. But who do, the character-wise, I mean, I just think Khadijah was that girl. So
Yeah,
I would love
I
to
love
just be like, oh, you know, Khadijah. It's like her, but
Running her own magazine.
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Let's see. from all the shows, I don't know who I resonate with the most overall. I feel so I have a love-hate relationship with Joan because like quite ambitious, but also she didn't speak up for herself soon enough with her friends, and they did take advantage of her. I do think like it's great to like be a giver, and as someone who was a giver who would literally give you the shirt off my back if I'm suffering, that don't make no sense. Like use your head, right? Like you gotta, you know, what's the advice that the flight attendants give you? You gotta
put on your
seatbelt
first, or you put on anyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and so so I think like it was kind of triggering like watching it growing up, but now I'm like, I don't resonate with that shit. I'm like, oh, y'all get the fuck out of this house. Like what Martin's like,
just the step, there's the door.
And so, but no, definitely like ambitious. I do like that she like I guess took Tony's advice and tried to do the restaurant. It was a flop, but you don't know till you know.
Right.
And so that was her trying to get out of her comfort zone. And also as a tourist, like we like the same shit. We're not trying to do nothing different. And so I do think I've definitely grown more as a person by just like taking risk and just taking risk, and also just, you know, getting out of my element a little bit.
And can I say, I love how Tracy Ellis Ross is completely opposite of the Joan character. Like, she is not about tradition. She's like, I am me.
With the flow
this
queen.
is where I'm at. I love that.
Yeah, very inspiring. But I feel like I've like kind of transitioned out of that. Like I know how to set boundaries and stuff. So I think that's why she was so frustrated. But then y'all know towards like the end episodes, everyone thought Joan was like so like such a bitch.
That's true.
You know, and it's just like, I mean, wrong time, wrong place. I don't know. Eventually she was able to stand up for herself. But what I was going to say is that I really love Maya because she's going to keep it real. And I feel like when I was younger, I may have kept it too real sometimes. So I just be like, okay, let me shut up. So like with my friends, I'm like, okay, let me know if you want me to listen only, to listen and give advice, or to like whatever else you want me to do. But if you just want me to shut up and listen, tell me up front, because I'm a problem solver. I'm always like, girl, you should do this. You should hear the answer. But yeah. But for the most part, that's all I have to say. Do y'all have any lasting comments or any, I don't know, closing comments? Any closing comments?
I will say thank y'all. Thanks for having me on. This was super fun. Definitely outside of my comfort zone. But I've enjoyed it. And I just want to say thank you guys for creating this space, not only for women, but definitely women of color. And so this is something you don't really see a lot of. And just kind of like the banter and like, you know, it's not, you know, it's very non-corporate, it's very like, you know, a safe space, like just hanging out with your friends, obviously. So thank you guys for, you know, going on this journey together and like putting this out there for us to enjoy and us to engage with. So thanks.
Yes, of course. And thank you for being on. We appreciate you, of course. I appreciate our budding friendship. So thank you for that. And I would just say, for those that are listening, please answer Kim's questions. I would love to hear what advice y'all have towards that, because that is a good question.
Yeah.
Might give us some advice.
I still think about it. Shout out to you, girl, if you see this.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Warm Truth. And make sure you follow us at The Warm Truth Podcast on IG and on TikTok. Follow me at Kim Shell on IG at KIMSHELLE _. And we walk to the number 2 _ at ATX. Feel free to follow Mel at
A Girl and Her Swing, my golfing page, as well as my family page at Don't Miss a Beat _Y. And you can also follow Kaylin.
I've had this Instagram since I was in like middle school. But it's breezy _ said dream.
Breezy.
I know. I've got to really change it.
Don't beat her up.
No, please
I saw y'all at the
She
concert.
does
I
not
saw y'all
support
videos.
Please, I don't. Please don't cancel me.
Yes,
I just got here. But yes.
Well, thank y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.